In the summer of 1991, I had just graduated from law school and was living in a tiny one-room studio apartment at 80th and Amsterdam while studying for the bar exam. My parents had flown in for a visit on the last weekend in June, and as luck would have it, it was the same weekend of New York's LGBT Pride Parade. On that Sunday morning, as my parents made their way through Manhattan to my apartment, they found themselves having to navigate around the parade. When they got to my apartment, my mother started to criticize the very idea of a pride parade. "It's just horrible seeing all those mobs of gay people marching openly in the street," she said. "Enough already, Mom," I told her. "I don't want to hear this." But she continued, "Well, I'm just saying, I think it's horrible." "Stop," I snapped. "Enough already." She turned to me, her eyes narrowing. "Why do you want me to stop?" she asked. "What's the matter? Are you gay or something?" "Yes," I told her, "I'm gay." My mother did not say a word. She simply walked over to the edge of the room and started banging her head against the wall. And that's not a joke, that's literal. I watched for a moment in complete shock, and then somehow, in one of the saner moments of my life, I managed to turn and walk out of my own apartment. My mother's reaction was so over the top that there was no way to engage with her. I had known that my mom would not be happy about this news, but her reaction was even worse than I had expected. And that only served to confirm my deepest fears about what life would be like now that I had finally admitted out loud that I was gay. Being gay meant losing the love and support of your family. It meant never being able to get married or to start a family of your own. It meant living a covert life on the fringes of society, a life where none of the promises of a happy, stable adulthood applied. I didn't feel empowerment or relief when I came out. I felt depression and despair. And my mother's reaction sent me into a downward spiral. And then I went to see Edie's late spouse, Thea Spire. In that first session, I told Thea about my deepest fears, that I would never have a normal life, a successful relationship, close ties with my family, or a family of my own. It seemed self-evident to me that by admitting that I was gay, I had scuttled any chance I ever had of being happy, stable, or at peace with myself. I never felt so alone, and I saw no way to make it better. And then Thea told me about her own relationship with a brilliant mathematician named Edie Windsor. She said that she and Edie had been together for 25 years by then, living together as a committed couple through thick and thin, in sickness and in health. Their relationship had started in the pre-1960s, pre-Stonewall, at a time when it was even more difficult to be gay. But they had persevered and continued to love each other through the decades, building a stable and joyous life together. I saw Thea for only 2 sessions because I was going to Boston for a clerkship, but I saw her right in that very apartment. 18 years had passed since then, but when I walked into Edie's living room, it was exactly as I had remembered it from those 2 therapy sessions many years before. And as I looked at the chair where Thea had sat, while I, sitting across from her, had poured out my fears, my heart began to pound. "I'm sorry," I said to Edie, "I need a minute." I had known, of course, when I was walking over, that this was the very same apartment where I had met with Thea, but I did not expect to feel it so viscerally. Walking into that room felt like returning to the scene of an accident. I took a deep breath, and I said to Edie, "I've actually been here before." And then I told her why. When I first met Edie Windsor, and as she described her story to me, her 44-year relationship with Thea, the marriage that they had celebrated when they were in their 70s, and the federal government's refusal to acknowledge their relationship, all I could think of was, I will do this for Thea. Because of the sting of social disapproval and the persistence of discrimination in nearly every facet of everyday life, many gay people, like Edie Windsor and Thea Spire, live their lives in the closet so as not to risk losing a job, a home, or the love and support of family and friends. And without the benefit of knowing and understanding the lives of gay people living openly and with dignity, many Americans fail to see that gay people and their families have the same aspirations to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness as everybody else. As Justice Kennedy explained today, what gay people have been seeking for so many years is equal dignity in the eyes of the law. The Constitution grants them that right. Thank you so much.